Ladies and gentlemen, this is Dr. H. We're at the top of the hour. We're so glad that you could be on the call. Once again, everything in life comes with pretty much a manual. You know, you buy a VCR or you buy a TV or even a car. Everything comes with a manual. Well, tonight we're going to be talking about the Distributor QuickStart Training, and this is part number 1. And so if you've got pencil and paper, you'll probably need that tonight. But I want to welcome you, first of all, to the training. You know, like I said, everything comes with a manual. Why in the world would you not send something that if you want to build something or you want to drive something or you want to operate something and you've had absolutely no training, your only hope is for it to come with a manual. Just remember that what I'm about to give you are things that's easy to do and also easy not to do. So you have to program yourself for success. In fact, if you don't take the time to program yourself for success, it's not going to work for you. So everything in life comes with a manual. And so, like I said, we're going to be talking about the Distributor QuickStart Training, and this is part number 1 of a series that we're going to be doing. And just remember, like I said earlier, everything that's easy to do is also easy not to do. So you have to literally decide to program yourself for success. So I want to congratulate you on your decision of becoming part of a rapidly growing family of independent distributors. You've made the right decision to join what I believe to be one of the fastest growing companies and one of the most exciting industries anywhere. And it's very exciting. We're in what's called the people business, where you will come in contact with very large numbers of new people every month, where you'll be building long-time relationships and friendships. And one of the best things about your decision to join the company is the fact that you're now in business for yourself, but you're not in business by yourself. You can set your own goals, determine the rate of your own success, all this while being guided and assisted not only by the people who brought you into the business, but people like myself and others who are interested in your success. But the many tools and the technology that the company puts directly at your disposal, it does make the job easier and you can become more productive as possible. But you have to allow yourself to duplicate yourself over and over again. So you must learn to program yourself for success. So when you decide to bring somebody into your business, you're going to need to introduce them to the manual. And this is what we're doing. This is going to be the audible version. There will be a version in the university that will be uploaded in a PDF format, but you're going to want both, all right? So you have to unlock the combination. If you're going to be a success, you've got to unlock the combination to the formula for success. So lesson number 1, are you ready for this? House cleaning. You've got to do some house cleaning. You've got to get a planner and plan your own portfolio of what you're going to do in your first day to your first 31 days, right? So whenever you do this, you're going to need a scheduler, in other words. Go out and get you a real paper book form scheduler. I don't care how good you are with the computer or how good you are with your cell phone, get you a scheduler. In fact, people who are successful, the Fortune 500 people, you're going to find out, yes, they may have a scheduler on their cell phone, they may keep up with on their computer and everything else, but they've all got a written planner. That's their scheduler. So a little bit of house cleaning, okay? So what do? Every morning you want to get early enough and decide to prepare for your scheduler that you have. And you're going to need your prospect worksheet. Now let's get started now, all right? So once again, this is a proven step-by-step plan for launching a very profitable long-term business that you own by learning and believing and consistently applying the formulas of success that's going to be outlined in what I call the guide, all right? So you'll not only guarantee your success, but you can also help guarantee the others. What do you mean by guarantee? It's a proven formula, and it works, all right? So what do? Number 1, you have to have a plan of action. Now, I know you've probably heard that before, but write this on your outline. What is a plan of action? It's simply a roadmap. It's a roadmap that when you go to plan to go to a destination. If I was going to go from Lubbock, Texas, and I was going to go, let's say, to New Orleans, or I was going to go to Florida, or even Canada or New York, I'm not just going to go out there and grab a highway. I'm going to sit down ahead of time and plan that out. Why? I'm going to become laser focused on where I'm going to go, where I'm going to spend the night, where I'm going to gas up, where I'm going to eat. You see, I'm going to have a plan to get me from where I am to where I want to be. And just as you would not begin a trip without a clear understanding of where you're going, you must also have a clear understanding of where you wish to go and where you want to be in your business. Business plans are not just for Fortune 500 companies. No, absolutely not. Successful individuals aren't just lucky. They write down their goals and they visualize their success, and then they take the action. So let's do a little house cleaning. Number one, repeat after me. I am going to become bulletproof. I've got a heart of gold, but I'm going to be bulletproof. You see, you don't go out and train successful people. You recruit them, all right? So you got to help people just to change their focus. And anybody that wants to be a success really can if they want to be, if they're willing to adopt the right skill set. So there are 4 things I want you to write down. Before you can put your plan into action, you must know what you wish to achieve. Let me say it again. Before you can put your plan into action, you must know what you wish to achieve. You determine your needs. You determine your wants and your desires. And that will help you to do this. I want you to, on a tablet, I want you to write these 4 things down, all right? Number 1, needs. N-E-E-D-S. You see, you don't build the business without first going out and cleaning the toilet. Now, what do I mean by that? And there's some things you got to clean up. You got to clean the house. You got to clean the way you think and the way you act and how you do things. Most people wait till the last minute to get up and run to their little 8-to-5 job, and they'll do everything they can to avoid working during the day, and then they'll try to look, 15 minutes before time to clock out and head home. That's not how you build your own personal business. No, you got to do some house cleaning. You got to clean the toilet. You got to carry out the garbage. There's things you got to do when you're running your own business. So you don't build the business without first doing some house cleaning. But what is your needs? So we're going to do some house cleaning tonight. We're going to define 4 things. Number 1, what are your needs? It's a list of all the needs you have to meet in order to maintain your lifestyle. You need to pay your rent. You need a car payment. You've got to have health insurance and car insurance and clothing allowance and groceries and education and maybe even a debt reduction plan. But you've got to find out what your needs are, and you've got to meet those needs before you can move into the wants. So number 2 is the wants. Before we go there, I want you to sit down and write down what you absolutely need. If your house payment's $1,000, you need $250 a week just to make that house payment. That's not counting your insurance. That's not counting your car payment. That's not counting your food or your clothes or medical bills. But you need that. There are certain things you need, like a cell phone. It amazes me today how many people want to run a business, and you go to call them up and their phone's disconnected. Listen, you can get a cell phone plan for as little as $40 a month, and there's even some companies that will let you go out and recruit enough people where you don't even have a cell phone plan at all. I mean, your cell phone's completely paid for. So there's no excuse today for not having some basic needs. You need to know how to run a computer. You need to know how to get on the internet, whether it be through your cell phone or whether it be, even tonight, I had to log in to our conferencing center. I had to turn that on. There's just things you have to learn to do. So with that thought in mind, please understand there are some basic needs, and part of that house cleaning is you got to clean up. People say, well, I can't do that. Yes, you can. If you're going to do this and be a success, then you're going to have to build this business from the ground up. Then so once you define your needs, this is what I need. I need to talk to 5 people a day. I need to recruit at least 1 to 2 to 3 people a week. If I'm going to be a success, you've got to define your needs, and you have to clean some things up, all right? And for example, somebody calls you up, you're in the middle of fixing to go out and talk to a couple of people about your business, and old Joe calls up and says, hey, Susie and I are getting together, let's go out and let's just go have a Coke. Well, you're going to have to learn to tell them, no, you got to clean up that calendar. Say, look, I'm working my business. When I get off work, I'll give you a call. You see, there are basic needs. You need to work your business. Then number 2, your wants. And you know, this is what fuels the business. Let me say it again. Your wants is what fuels the business. So you need to list not only the things that you need to meet and maintain your lifestyle, but you need to list all the things that you know that you can have if you want them bad enough. You believe you can get all the things listed that you're going to write down. Let's say like a vacation. It amazes me today. People today aren't even making their house payment. They can't make their car payment, but they're going to go out and spend all what little money they got and take a vacation. Listen, maybe you can't afford a vacation this year. Maybe some people, they want not only a vacation, maybe they want recognition. Maybe they want a new car or an education or a second home. Or maybe they want freedom to work and be able to take some time off to spend time with their family. But you've got to define your wants. So you have to meet your needs first, and then your second is your wants. And that's what fuels the business. How bad do you want it? What are you willing to do? What are you willing to sacrifice to get it? So define it. Know exactly what you're willing to do. And then number 3, your dreams. List all the things that you have ever dreamed of having or becoming. Go out and get magazines and cut the pictures out and put them on your refrigerator. Put them by your toilet. Put them at the headboard of your bed. Put them there in your car. You know, make sure that you see a visual. List all the things you've ever dreamed of having or becoming. But we're not certain that you could ever obtain them, right? Well, you say, well, I'll become a millionaire. Well, why don't you try becoming a thousandaire first? Learn to make that $1,000 a month. And then from there, move up to being a millionaire. Maybe you want to drive that new BMW. Well, go down to the car lot and test drive it. You say, well, I can't afford it. Well, you can't now, but you will. So go down and drive it. Get that vision. These are your dreams, you know. And so often we allow people to steal our dreams right off the bat. But we're not certain that you could ever obtain them, right? Yes, you can. If you really want to be a millionaire, you could be if you want to be. If you do the right thing. If you want to drive a new BMW, you want to build a custom home or invest in real estate, there's nothing to stop you, you see. But until you define it, until you see it, you're never going to want to achieve it. So you've got to develop your needs, find out what you absolutely have to have, and get those needs met. Move up to your wants, and then, you know, like somebody said, well, I want a brand new car. Well, what you need right now is just a car. So, you know, some of the Greek words you might have to learn is secondhand car, laundromat, right? So, you know, they're just things that you have to do to get your business started. These are your needs. Then your wants. And then maybe you want a team, but you've got to go out and build a team, right? Well, these are your dreams. And so define your needs, define your wants, define your dreams, and then number 4, your secret desire. You see, you have to ask yourself, if money were no object, what would you be doing with your life? If money was no object, what would you be doing with your life? Well, for me, I'd want to help as many people as I possibly can. And that's the purpose of these calls. These calls are to help you and your team. So let's get started. Ready? Now, we talked about that this is the Distributor QuickStart Training. So we want to start out with a plan of action. You need to sit down and take this serious. So how do you do that? Number 2, you set your goals. So what are goals anyway? We've heard that before. Here's what goals are. Write this down. These are promises that you make to yourself. That's what a goal is. Promises you make to yourself. Only you can decide where you want to go with your business or what you want to achieve or how much time you're going to put into it. But what you visualize in your mind and believe for yourself is exactly what you will achieve. Let me say it again. What you visualize in your mind and believe for yourself is exactly what you'll achieve. And the steps that will carry you to your final destination represents your goals. These are the promises you've made to yourself. I promise to work my business from 4 o'clock in the afternoon till 7 o'clock at night on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. That's fine. But these are promises. That's what goals really are. And when you're setting goals, they must be, write this down. There are just a few things here. In fact, let me just give you 6 of them. Write them down. Number 1, your goal must be specific. Specific. You must have a clear idea of what actions that need to be taken every day. You're not going to build a business if you start taking off work. If you keep taking off work at your job, you're not going to have a paycheck at the end of the week, right? Same way here. If you keep taking off of your responsibility of building your own business every day, you're not going to have a paycheck not only at the end of the week, but not at the end of the month. So be specific. Have a clear idea of what actions you need to be taking today and every day. Number two, these goals must be measurable. Measurable. Remember, unclear goals are useless. So when you have a goal, these are promises you've made to yourself, and they must be specific and they must be measurable. You must know when a specific goal has been achieved. How do you do that? You set up a reward system. You go out and get 3 people into your business. Decide what you're going to do with that. You got to measure that, right? And then number 3, they've got to be written. I cannot specify how important this third part of setting your goal is. Not only must the goals be specific, clear, they must be measurable. You got to know if you've achieved them or not. And number 3, they've got to be written. The difference between wishing and hoping is action and results. Let me say it again. The difference between wishing and hoping is action and results. And that's why it's important that they be specific and you can measure them. And how do you measure that? Let's say you put 5 3x5 cards in your pocket at the beginning of the morning, and you decide, I'm not going to quit and go to sleep until I get 5 names on these 5 cards. And now these 5 cards, I'm going to contact these 5 people and set up a meeting with them. You see how simple that was? So you've got to decide what you're going to do for that day. And then number 4, they must be challenging. You see, you can't just, without you being challenged, all right? They must make you stretch. They have to inspire you enough to get you out of your comfort zone. Why? Because you'll never grow and you'll never achieve. They've got to challenge you. Somebody said, well, I can talk to 1 person a day. Well, if you can talk to 1, why not talk to 3? If you can talk to 3, let it be your goal to collect 5 names a day. Out of those 5 names, you're going to get 3 people you can talk to. Out of the 3 people you're going to talk to, your goal is to at least sign up 1 person minimum a week. And so I'm just telling you that you have to challenge you. So if you're going to set your goals, and these are promises you've made to yourself, they must be specific, measurable, written, and challenging. And here's the key right here, timed, T-I-M-E-D. They must have a realistic completion time or date. They have to have, because if you don't set a start time and an end time, then you'll be starting, and you'll never achieve anything. How many times have I gone out and started cleaning my garage, but something would come up, so I would quit. I started mowing my backyard, but something came up, I got a phone call, and I would quit. No, here's what I've done. I said, I've got to get this done today. I've got to get this. So what does having a timed, realistic schedule set for you? It creates a sense of urgency. Urgency. I've got to do my first private business reception or my first grand opening. I just joined today on Monday. I've got to talk to enough people to fill up my home by Friday. It's got to be done. My upline's going to be there, my sideline, my downline, whatever. There's going to be people in my home. We're going to have a party. We're going to celebrate my grand opening. You know what? It's going to be this Friday at 7 o'clock. See, unless you take and set a time to it, then you're never going to take and without the urgency, you're just going to slough it off like you do everything else. You're going to get back in that rut. And last of all, the goal must be meaningful. They must be personally rewarding to you. So what do? You share your goals with a supportive friend. It might be an upline, a sideline, it might be a mate or somebody you brought into the business, but you're going to share that. You're going to support that. And you're going to find someone that's going to support you too. Don't hang around the negative people. Find you somebody that's positive. Listen, if you want somebody positive, you just tune in here every Thursday at 7 o'clock, and I guarantee you, you're going to find one of the most positive, inspired, ready to rock and roll. Let's make this happen. I'll be there no matter what. You see, why are you saying that? Because you want to hang around positive people. But you see, whenever I share my goal with you, listen, I'm going to talk to 5 people a day. I want to take and do 2 3-way calls with my buddy that's in the business, all right? So I call up Susie or I call up Mark, and I say, Mark, from 3 to 4 o'clock, I'm going to do some 3-way calls. I'm going to have these lined up for my 3x5 cards I filled out yesterday. I've already made appointments. So will you be available? Yeah, Dr. H, I'll be available from 3 to 4 or 4 to 5, whatever. And we immediately get on the phone. We do the 3-way calls. And if you don't know how to do 3-way calling, it's all in our university, and we'll be doing a complete system audio training on that coming up. But you see, you've got to schedule this. It's all about scheduling these events, these meetings. So what do? You break your goals down into immediate goals. You've got short-range goals, that's 6 months to a year. Long-range goals, 3 to 5 years, right? So we've got immediate goals, short-range goals, and long-range goals. And there's some examples for that. Let me give you some quick examples because I know we're getting close to the end of the hour. And here's the deal. Let's talk about immediate goals. Remember this, the top 3% in our nation, that's in our industry, that's making all the money, these are the goal setters. These are the promises they've made themselves. They're the top money earners. The other 97% never took the time to set their goals. That's how important this is. So what is my immediate goals? It might be I want to retail a minimum amount of, let's say I want to retail $500, $300, $100 in product each week or each month. Well, I need to write that immediate goal down. I just joined the business. I want to move. I'm going to order enough product. I'm going to order, $200 or $300 in product, and my goal is to move every bottle that by my grand opening or my PBR, my private business reception, this coming Friday or Saturday that I've scheduled, and I've got all these people coming. So I will retail a minimum of blank in product each month or each week. Here's another immediate goal. I will sponsor and listen and assist a minimum of blank people in my business. If you bring somebody into your business, don't you dare sign them up unless you're willing to walk with them and tutor them and help them and empower them in their first 90 days. You see, that's what people think, that our business is all about just sponsoring people. No, it's simply building a relationship and helping them to achieve what their dreams are. Zig Ziglar said, you have to help enough people get what they want, and you'll get what you want. So, but your immediate goal is, I'll retail a minimum of blank, each month. I will sponsor and assist a minimum of blank people each month. It might be 1, it might be 2, it might be 3, but this is one of your immediate goals. And I will develop a minimum. Let's say that let's say we've got managers and directors and stars and diamonds. Let's say that we were in a company that had these different levels. Well, your goal might be to maybe, let's say that managers was the first thing people could do. All they got to do is join and order a little product and do 1 PBR, one private business reception or 1 grand opening, all right? And let's say if they do that, they become a manager. And let's say that if they go out and sign up 1 person, they become a director. Let's say they sign up 2, they become a star, whatever it is. But the deal is you want to help people to move to the next level. So in other words, I will sponsor and assist a minimum of blank people each month. I will develop a minimum of, let's say, a director each month. I'm going to develop a minimum of a star each month or a diamond each month. So you've got to have some immediate goals. I'm going to go out and at least have 1 private business reception, a PBR, in my home at least every Friday or every Thursday or every Saturday or every Sunday afternoon. I'm going to have one of these events. Either I'm going to do it or somebody I'm sponsoring is going to do it, but we're going to be there. These are your immediate goals. And then there's your short-range goals. I will earn a minimum of blank dollars per month from my business. You see, some people say, well, I don't know what I'm going to make. Well, you determine that. By moving product and getting people to come in and move product, that's how we make money. And if you're not selling product and you're not getting people to buy product, you're not going to make money. So I want to earn, let's say, for $1,000 a month, I need to know how much product I need to move on a regular basis in order to get that. I will earn a minimum of blank dollars from my business this year. I will become, at the next level by this date. We talked about maybe having, different levels. I'm going to become a manager at a certain date. I'm going to become a director at a certain date. I'm going to become a star. I'm going to become a diamond by a certain date. If you don't push yourself and do what a diamond needs to do to become a diamond, you'll never be a diamond. If you're not going to set your goals to go out and do what maybe a gold star would do, or a silver star, or just a star in your business, then you'll never achieve that. You must have immediate goals, and you must have short-range goals. Like, for example, your first 30 days. I'm going to have 10 people retailing my product. I'm going to at least sign up one person this month. You know, that would be your short-range goals. And then your long-range goals. You know, this is in your next 3 to 5 years. And that is, you all have a minimum personal net worth of, let's say you wanted to be worth $1 million. You want to be worth $100,000, all right, by the next 3 to 5 years. You see, the problem is most people jump into something and they bail out before they can even have the possibility of success in their life. So determine now that you're going to do this as your retirement. This is your long-range goal. I will have my home mortgage paid for by 5 years. You know, I will tell you this. If you've got a home mortgage and you're going to mortgage your house for more than 15 years, you don't need that house. I'll tell you that right now. If you can't pay for that thing in 15 years, I promise you, if you take out a 30-year note, I promise you, you're going to wind up for a $70,000 home, you're going to wind up paying about $200 and something thousand for that loan. You don't need that. So what do? You take out a 15-year loan, right? So in other words, you know what it's going to take to pay off that business. Same way here. What's it going to take for the payoff so that you can retire? All right? I'll have my mortgage paid for by a certain date. I'll have my car paid off with no car payments. You know, I will have my kids' education paid for by this date. So it's about retirement. That's your long-range goals. Now that you've established a number of worthwhile goals for yourself, let's determine what you need to do in order to turn those into reality. And I've got about 4 minutes, and we're not going to be able to complete this, but let me get you started. Ready? So number one, we talked about doing a little bit of house cleaning. We talked about coming up with a plan of action. We talked about setting your goals. And last of all, having a roadmap to success. This is what's called the pathway to success. Now it's time to make your business happen. You need to crystallize your dreams and establish them as written goals. That's your first step. But now you must take a personal commitment to those goals in order to succeed. In order to do so, you must. Now just jot these down, and we'll have to come back next week and talk about these. Let me give you what we're going to talk about. I want to inspire you to be on the next call. Number one, you've got to have a burning desire. Question, how bad do you want it? What are you willing to sacrifice to get it? You must have a burning desire. You must be teachable. And you've got to be, here it is, folks, willing to work. W-O-R-K. All right? So remember this, water at 211 is boiling, but water at 212 creates steam. And that's the difference of 1 degree and the power to move a locomotive. So show me what you want to do. And then I always tell people when I sign up, show me what to do, tell me what it's about, then get out of my way and let me plow through this thing. I'm going to go through as many people as I can, as quick as I can. I'm going to get as much product moved as possible. You see, you got to have a burning desire. How bad do you want it? What are you willing to do to get it? What are you willing to sacrifice? Are you willing to give up your 4 o'clock to 7 o'clock every night TV in order to go out and talk to people? But you've got to want it so bad that you're willing to sweat for it. If you're not willing to sweat for it, you don't want it that bad. If you've never been hungry, then you apparently, you know, if you're really, really hungry, if I was out on the street corner and I needed something, here's what I would put on my sign. I don't want a handout. I need a job. I need to work. If you've got work, hire me. Let me tell you what, there's enough people out there with their hands out and people passing by every day. What do you want? I don't want a handout. I want to sweat. I want to work. I want to make this happen. See, that's the burning desire. I would hire somebody in a heartbeat that had a burning desire. I don't want someone coming along that just wants a handout. I want them to be able to create their own way. So, you know, how bad do you want it? What are you willing to do to get it? Then number 2, develop your belief in the industry, your belief in the company, your belief in the products, even your belief in yourself. You know, I like to call testimonies a test of monies. Let me explain that to you. A testimony is you telling what you know about the product, about the company, about the pay plan, but the real test is in the money. So I don't really care about the testimonies as much as I want to know about the test that I've got to go through in order to get the money. So I'm interested in the testimonies, right? So I have to educate myself. I have to listen to tapes and CDs and audios and visuals and YouTube videos. You know, I've got to ignite myself. I can't wait for somebody to inspire me. I've got to go out and find that inspiration. I've got to decide that it's my responsibility. I have to develop my belief system. If you're trying to move a product you don't believe in, you're dead. All right? So same way here. You have to understand that we have to decide what we want. So have a burning desire, develop a belief in the industry, the company, the products, and in yourself. And next week we're going to talk about this right here, about that pathway to success, how to pursue a single-minded and focused. We're going to talk about the ant theory. We're going to talk about some things, all right? And we're going to talk about only doing the one MLM. So we're going to talk about pursue a single-minded and focused industry. And then we're going to talk about developing persistence and discipline to be disciplined. We'll be talking about that. And then we'll talk about apply what you've learned and visualize your success and develop the winning attitude. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you being on the call. Our time is up. Our calls are always about 30 minutes long, if that. But I hope this has inspired you. But this is our manual. This is part number 1 of your Distributor QuickStart Training. If people get the right mindset up front, they won't have the right actions. So you need the right mindset, the right actions, and this is what we do. We want to put everybody through this training. We want them to go back and get their pen and paper out. We want to know who they are, what they're willing to do, and what they're willing to sacrifice, so we'll know where they are on a scale of 1 to 10. So if you can find out what people want and where they are, I guarantee you that you can work with them. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is Dr. H, and I am so privileged to have you on the call. It's an honor and a privilege that those of you that signed in, I wish for the best of the blessings upon you, because I know you're on the right path. I know you got the right attitude, and you got the right determination, because you made it on this call. Well, make sure you get your team on here next week. I'll see you next Thursday, 7 o'clock sharp. Until then, this call is now official.